Hi, I am Sanjeevani Kusum. Thank you so much for all the encouragement you have been giving to Sanjeevani stories. Come, walk with me. Listen to my stories in my voice through your eyes. Today I am gonna narrate you the story Mouse Trap. It was Monday morning. I went to the staff room and sat with the gloomiest possible face possible in this universe. What's the matter, Madhu? You're not yourself these days. You can share, you know. This was our botany lecturer Sujata. She asked me after observing me for many days. I can't take this anymore. I broke down into tears. This has wrecked up my life. This has occupied my life. I cried bitterly. All of my colleagues walked down slowly to my place and sat around me in sympathy. Oh dear, look at the poor girl. This is the first time she is living away from her parents, and these kinds of things can scare you for a lifetime, exclaimed Mrs. Swarupa, batting her eyelids frantically under her heavy-rimmed spectacles. Don't terrify her, Mrs. Swarupa. These things do happen. One needs to overcome such obstacles in life. It gives the strength to deal with bigger miseries, declared our physics lecturer, Mr. Shastri, in a very metaphysical manner. Why don't you move out for a few days? How about spending some time at my place? We can share the expenses, suggested our maths lecturer, Miss Ramani. I could imagine her calculating my share of expenses. Principal sir is calling you, ma'am. Johnny, our attender, put a pause upon this unending sympathy wave. I heaved a sigh of relief and walked for the principal's chamber. I sat on a chair opposite to him. I saw something dangling from the principal's chair. Sir, please get away from that seat, I shouted with panic in my voice. Principal jumped off from his seat. What happened, sir? Is there a snake? Johnny came in running. Other staff members were peeping through the open door. It's nothing. You can go, and please close the door behind you, Mr. Shastri said, regaining his composure and signaling me to sit down. Please have a glass of water, Madhu, he said, taking off the lid from the water glass. I gulped the water in a second and sat down calmly. Slowly, I felt my cheeks wet with tears. Mr. Shastri offered me a tissue paper and started. I think it's high time you take a break for a week or two and spend some time with your parents. Isn't it more than 8 months you have come here? I can understand that agency areas like this and a lonely life can create a lot of pressure on mind. I pondered upon my journey to this jungle place before 8 months. I got a job of lecturer in zoology at Gurukul College, Singarayapalem, a remote agency area in West Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh. I had never seen a proper village in my life, say alone an area agency. My friends and relatives had warned me beforehand about trivials of living in a forest. But I had this fascination for green India since childhood, and I jumped upon the very first train I could get to reach that place. My mom had tears in eyes. You are our only daughter and only child. If any untoward thing happens, life would be miserable for her, she cried. I consoled her somehow and left for my new life. With lot of support from local students and colleagues, I found a decent 2-bedroom house and settled down there conveniently in the lap of nature. My home, my furniture, my coffee mug, and my newspaper, wow! Everything seemed so perfect and out of dream. One evening, I called my mom. Mama, you know what? Lord Shiva likes doodh pedas very much. He's just never tired of them. What? My mother was startled. Slowly she began laughing. Well, I know you like Lord Shiva very much, but dear, what makes you think that he likes such sweet as doodh peda? Mom was laughing. Mom, you won't believe it. The peda that I offer to him every morning disappears by evening. God loves doodh peda. My mother was confused. I have heard of Lord Ganesha drinking milk, but I have never heard Lord Shiva eating doodh peda. I again retorted, Mom, he loves me. I guess you are a bit jealous of me. Oh yes, he does. She cut the line. I was roaming on the seventh sky of spiritual world when one day I found the lid slipped off from my chicken curry dish. A roasted chicken wing was missing, and there were drops of oil near the dish. Doodh peda is fine, but roasted chicken wings, God! Since when have you turned non-vegetarian? Succumbing to the lure of roasted chicken wings is fine with us mortal beings, but you? Why, God, why? Why did you have to do this? I questioned God. With all the time, loneliness, and the beautiful natural surroundings provided to me on a single platter, I pondered deeply upon this thing. I meditated for long hours in the serene midnights, and then, finally, I got my answer. Dad, God wants me to quit non-vegetarian food. Is that okay with you? I woke up my father at 3:45 a.m. one fine morning. Go to bed, Madhu, you're dreaming. We'll talk in the morning, dear. No, Dad, it's you who is dreaming, not me. There is nothing like morning or evening for me. A moment once lost in eternity of universe is lost forever. Because you are my father in this mortal world, it is my responsibility to inform you. Lord Shiva has directed me to quit non-vegetarian, and who am I to deny his order? I gave a divine, breathless speech. What makes you think so, Madhu? My dad was now full awake. Can't you see, Dad? He has started eating my roasted chicken wings. How foolish I was to think that God has taken a liking to them. How could I have missed that he wanted to warn me to quit non-vegetarian? Who can understand the loving divine methods of God? I was crying and telling. I told you not to send my daughter to this malaria-infested tribal area. I heard people do black magic there. Oh God, please save my daughter. I could hear my mother crying while listening to my divine speech on the speakerphone. Would you just shut up and let me think about it? My dad snapped at her. I cut the line. Next day, I found that the flowers I offered to Lord Shiva were shredded into pieces and diyas were kicked off, and oil had spilled out of them. I was devastated. Why, God? Why are you so angry on me? Where have I gone wrong? I have left non-vegetarian. I have not touched roasted chicken wings for 10 days. What else am I supposed to do? I was crying and praying. Suddenly, something touched my shoulder. No, God, it can't be you. Please don't be so merciful upon me. I'm a sinner. I don't deserve your divine touch. Something sharp touched my neckline. Sharp, like nails of a child. God! Oh, my God! I jumped my place and climbed on a big chair near the pedestal of God. It was a rat, a big, fat, black rat with dark, shining eyes. He jumped off me and scurried behind the row of books in the shelf. I have never seen such a big, fat, live rat at such close quarters in my life. It can't be true, it can't be true. I hate rats. That was not rat, that was something like rat. I kept mumbling. I couldn't sleep or eat that night. I woke up with a startle, with heavy head and eyelids. I headed towards the wash basin. I pressed the toothpaste on my brush. Press, press. What the hell? Why is not the paste coming out? Come on, Madhu, it's a new day. You can manage anything. Start your day with a refreshing brushing. I auto-suggested myself and pressed harder. Whoosh! I could feel something squeezed out on my white t-shirt. The paste did not come out. It did come out, but from the opposite side. Rat had made a fine hole in it. I was not still mad on it. It was a spiritually elating moment for me. Rats are also living beings. I can come up on terms with it. We will think over it. Me and rats will make something work out for a good symbiosis between us. But first, let me have some good black coffee. It would clear the clouds off my brain. I put some water in a bowl and switched on the microwave. I set the timer and went out to get my newspaper from my portico. When I came back, the kitchen was in black fumes. What's wrong, God? Is it not daybreak still? I wondered for a minute. Wake up, you goddamn dumb devotee! Your microwave is on fire! My inner voice shouted. I jumped into the living room and switched off the main meter. Yes, it was a daybreak now. A true daybreak. My house was infested with rats. Realization dawned upon me. How do you kill rats? I asked my chubby-cheeked chemistry lecturer, Miss Shruti. She had her cheeks full of rasmalai sweet, and her cheeks looked like the cheeks of that rat. Oh God, I hate that rat. I hate Shruti. No, the cheeks of Shruti. Well, what's the difference anyway? She stopped in the middle and lifted her eyes towards me. I realized that all the staff members were staring at me. It was just a day before yesterday that I had vehemently protested against the death sentence given to Kusum. Nobody has got the right to take the life of another living being. For God's sake, we live in the land of Buddha and Mahatma. That day I had argued passionately, completely aware of my newly found superiority of being vegetarian. Now they were still staring at me in shock. I was just wondering that how does I guess it's my time to go to class. I slipped hurriedly out of the staff room. I could hear a big laughter behind me. I went to my zoology laboratory. I was explaining the dissection of frog to the students that day. Momentarily, I had forgotten everything about rats amidst the buzz of students. Suddenly, a boy asked out of blue, "Ma'am, have you ever dissected a rat? How does it look inside?" This was enough to pull me back into the rat world again. No, but I would like to cut open thousands and thousands of rats given a chance. I waved the scissors in my hand and declared. Students had never seen me lose my temper ever before. They were dumbstruck. I just left the lab quietly. In the evening, I was just collecting my things to leave for my rat home. Sorry, sweet home. When our ever-jubilant accountant, Mr. Anand, crossed my way. "I'm going town today. Why don't you come with me, Miss Madhu? You can do some shopping and perhaps we can have some good coffee." I glared back at him. Then suddenly I said, "Why not? I need to check my mail too. Meet me at my gate in 20 minutes, I said. "Not on portico? Maybe some tea or coffee?" he said hopefully. "No, on the gate." I smashed his hopes. Was I a bit too harsh upon him? Well, I would think about that later. I suggested myself and walked home. I stepped into my home. I wanted to change into some informal wear from my crisp Bengali cotton saree. Saturday evening was the only time when I had a chance to go out in a casual wear. I wanted to wear something nice. I got my ice blue jeans out. I wanted to match it up with my baby pink shirt, which was sequined with nice silver color sequins. I had not taken it out for many months. Never got a chance in this forest. Or maybe never got a good company. Am I wearing it for him? No. Maybe yes. I smiled to myself. There it is, my favorite pink sequin shirt. I took it out and unfolded it. Stars fell down. I watched at them in astonishment as all the silver sequins fell off on the floor in a sequence. The rats had done this. I was completely astonished. I couldn't think any more and put on the first shirt I could get in my hand and stepped out. Anand was already there. I couldn't pull myself together to smile. I just quietly sat behind him on the bike without a word. This has to end, this has to end. We entered the town and stepped into the only net cave that the whole town had. There was not a single person. I rushed to the nearest system and Googled hurriedly how to kill rats. The emblem of Windows kept waving and waving. It seemed to take eternity to open. I eyed Mr. Anand from the corner of my eyes. He was also searching something. What was he trying to search? Did he also have rats in his home? Damn it. Anand came to me. Can I help you, Madhu? There is a shortcut to make that flag wave faster. No, thank you. I can manage. I cut him short. I didn't want him to see my search, but the damage was done, I guess. He had seen. He gave me such sympathetic look which made me feel hiding into a mouse. Finally, I got my search result. Yes, this is it. Poison, glue traps, laser guns. Wow, such a wide range of options. And what is this? Orlando Rat Control? God, isn't there anything like Singaraipalam Rat Control Agency? Why would people come all the way from America to control rats at my home? I was losing my mind. I came out. Can we get a pest control shop here? I asked Anand. There can be a pest shop around here. Let's try, he said, content to be at least helpful to me. We went to the only pesticide shop available in the town. I got down the bike. Please stay here. I would go in check out. I stopped him at the doorstep of the pesticide store. Can you give me the best rat kill? I asked the man in the store. He stared at me as if I was an alien. He went inside and came back with a bag full of rat kill medicines. I took the bag and ascended the bike of Anand. We reached home. We stood at the gate. So, tomorrow is Sunday and we have lot of leisure time, isn't it? So, have a good day then, he said, very optimistically, waiting for an invitation for Sunday lunch. Yes, Anand, have a nice Sunday, and I will have a rat kill day, I mumbled under my breath. He left, the most disappointed person. I entered into my home like a gladiator. God, give me the strength to fight these demons. Give me the strength to free my house from these infiltrators. I prayed to God. I mixed the rat kill cakes with rice and placed them at various hot spots for rats. I couldn't sleep the whole night. I kept the lights on. In the middle of night, I felt something touch my hand. God, it died on my hand. Oh, please, I can't manage it. I opened my eyes. It was not rat. It was my woolen hairband. I saw the time. It was 5 in the morning, and I couldn't go back to bed again. I switched on the lights and walked gingerly, lest I step upon any dead rat. I looked into places where I had kept the rat kill. It was gone. They had licked it up. Poor things. I hope they had painless death. I searched the whole house. There was not a single dead rat. I was exasperated. Then I remembered. They would eat inside and die outside. That was the slogan written on the cover of Rat Kill. Yes, they had died. They had died outside. They died a rat death. Let me confirm it. Let me search outside. I opened the door and stepped on the portico. November breeze touched me. It was cool. I suddenly felt elated. I took a torch and started searching among the bushes in the open space before my house. Suddenly, I heard sound at the gate. Someone opened the gate. I was startled. Rat? Is it coming inside again? No, I should not let it in. What should I do? Yes, I would scare the hell out of it. I started towards the gate with a heavy stick raised in both my hands. Madhu, what happened? What are you doing outside at this time? I heard the voice. It was my dad. Dad? Mom? It's you? It's not a rat? I put aside the stick and rushed towards my parents. Am I dreaming? Am I hallucinating? My mother came towards me and took my face in her hands. Madhu, my dearest girl, what's wrong with you? What have you done to yourself? She was crying. No, this is true. My mom crying for me is the most natural and true thing in this world. I managed to restore my senses, finally. Why on earth are you people here even without a single message? I couldn't hide my astonishment. Your goddamn place doesn't have mobile network and not even telegram facility. I guess we could read here faster than a letter. So here we are, my father said. It reminded me that our land phone lines have been dead for a week now, as Naxalites had destroyed the telephone wires. My father walked me and Mom to the inside of my house. I'm glad you both are here, Dad, I finally managed to say. Rekha, why don't you go in kitchen and make some good ginger tea while I talk with my daughter? My father said. My mother was too quite unlikely her. I wondered if she was doing fine. My eyes were following my mother while she moved into the kitchen. Is something worrying you, my child? Is everything fine? Madhu, you know you can share anything with me. My father took my hands and he was looking into my eyes. Oh, Dad, things are a little bit weird here. But I guess I can manage. You know I am a brave girl. I would never give up. I said. Now my dad was really worried. What is it you are talking about, Madhu? Is there some guy involved? Just tell me, let me see what I can do. Ah, ouch! Please, someone come here! I heard the vessels crashing on the floor and my mom shouting at the same time. I understood at once. Rats, they are not dead. They will never be dead. I told you, Dad, this is weird and this is absurd. Those stupid rats have messed up my life. Why do you always expect me to be brave and confident? Why do you always want me to be your brave little girl? Why can't I be a simple girl who is afraid even of rats? I was babbling. My dad held me in his arms. It's okay. It's okay to be afraid of rats. So this is all about rats. Thank God, we had bigger fears. My dad heaved a relief. What fears can be bigger than rats, I wonder. I calmed down with the presence of my parents and slowly we started our day. In the afternoon, we had a guest, Mr. Anand. He showed up with his patent sunshine smile besides some pack in his hands. I gave him the look of, "Did I ask you to come?" He avoided looking into my eyes and went straight for my parents. "Oh, uncle, how are you? I saw the car parked outside and thought it must be you," he said, shaking hands with my father. "It's nice to meet you, Anand. I was just thinking of sending message to you. Madhu had told a lot about you. You are the only other man I have seen in the whole day," my father said, immensely happy to have found someone in this isolated place. "Well, if you got some time, shall we go out and find some other house for rent, Anand? Madhu might have told you about the rat problem, I guess," my father said. "Nobody is going outside without having lunch," Mom declared. Anand finally got his invitation for lunch. "Well, uncle, I don't think that another house would be necessary. This thing would do," he said and unwrapped the pack in his hands. He came towards me and smiled. I took it. My parents were sharing secret smiles behind my shoulders. That was the first gift my husband had ever given me in his life. That was a mouse trap.